What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Genetic Canvas. This week, we're featuring the tri-stripe mutation in ball pythons, and we're excited because there's a lot to unpack in this episode. I think there's a lot of newer combos that have been made as far as the past few seasons go for a lot of breeders, and it's really shaping up to be a mutation that many people want to dive into. Um, Last week, we were covering ALS with the yellow belly complex, gravel, spark, supers, ALS combos. Definitely go back and check out that episode if you guys missed it. Um, a little bit of news for the week. Um, just wanted to shout out the customers from Gem Exotics. They're getting packages tomorrow. And shout out Justin at Canova because we have a package coming in for our Monarch project tomorrow. Super excited about that. If you guys aren't a part of their Patreon, make sure you check it out because there's a ton of value in the Canova Patreon. And it's one that I definitely recommend. Merch shout outs we'll get to in a minute, but make sure you guys are using code selective 65 for redline shipping labels. You'll get 65% off 2 shipping labels with code selective 65. And then Husbandry Pro, use code selective 60 for 60-day free trial. Tinley Park is this weekend for everybody attending. Make sure you guys meet up with the crew from the Whiskey Bomb Network. I know that Prophet's going to be there. I know a handful of the people from the network are going to be there. I, unfortunately, won't be at Tinley. I wish I could make it. But make sure you all have a good time for me and stop by and say what's up to everybody in the network. Show your support, show your love, and do it right now by hitting that like button, dropping them whiskey bombs in the comment. And if you're watching that replay, comment hashtag replay gang. Anyways, more videos coming to Patreon this week. So if you are interested in seeing what we got going on behind the scenes with Selective Creations and Gem Exotics, definitely jump into the Patreon. You get first chance at purchases from top breeders and top projects that I help ID. One of those breeders is Righteous Reptiles, working Mandarin, Monarch, Hurricane, Monarch, triple visuals. They're hitting all types of stuff. So definitely check them videos out. There's something that you don't want to miss in every single one. This week we have some amazing guests, but our co-host is the one and only Prophet himself. So let's welcome him out.
I'm gonna give myself air horns.
Appreciate you joining
Hold
us.
up. They gave me applause. Thank you. That's enough. Cut it out. Man, all right, that's enough. Stop that.
So
What's going on?
tri-stripe,
Thanks
man.
for having me here.
How you feel about the tri-stripe morph?
I love tri-stripe, bro. I love tri-stripe. I love stripe and animals anyway, and I love what Corey and Aaron been doing, especially with that Xanthic tri-stripe. So I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see some crazy combos.
Hell yeah. And tri-stripe is one of those mutations that has been around a really long time, and its history is it's somewhat of a mystery. You can trace it back to a YouTube video around 2006, but it had to have come out sometime before that. And we have some amazing guests here today that are going to walk us through some of that history together. And before we get into our guests in this awesome episode we're bringing to you this week, we want to say what's up to the chat. So first, let's do merch shout outs. We got Banana Bread Royals, network sponsor. Big homie Mike up top. Make sure you guys are checking out his Morph Market. He's been dropping some bombs over there. And we got Redline Shipping, but that wasn't the shout out. That was just the affiliation plug.
You missed the segue for that.
We got BBM Reptiles. That's Breaking Bad Morphs. So make sure you guys are checking Ron out. He is over in Puerto Rico, but he will get your snakes here to the U.S. and all over the world safely. I like to just spin it around so you can see the back there.
Pause.
I I love the pauses. I don't do them on the show, so every now and then it's good to get them back. But
You're
yeah,
supposed to
shout out to
plug
Ron.
your code when you show the shirt, bro. Stop playing. I gotta do it for you. Use code HDP. Come on, give it to him. Give it to him. Not HDP. Your code.
Oh
It
yeah,
says
HP Husbandry Pro is Selective 60, and that's 60-day free trial to Husbandry Pro.
here it is. All right, your boy's gonna. I'm representing for the homies Head Stamp Exotics, and I gotta
Hey,
coordinate. So I'm representing for a Splash Pack. She's not slacking in the back.
he
That's
should.
right. That's right there. She yelled at me because her last joint it was back slacking. So she made sure she got me one with with the with the joint in the back. So shout out to
No
Keisha.
slacking on
Shout
the
out to
back.
Willie B. Gotta coordinate. And this for the Burger Gang. Shout out to Glizzy Gang. I know y'all in the Chizzy chat. Shout out to my babe. Shout out to ENT Reptile. Shout out to Dope Boy Fresh, whose show is on right now over on his channel. Truck, of course, is set to sell. Represent for him. Glizzy Squad. I gotta give the twinkle twinkle for the peoples. I know they in the Chizzy chat.
Shout out to all you
Yeah.
fantastic people in the chat and watching the replay. So let's say what's up to some of y'all. We got clowning around pythons, Dustin in the building.
With the
Appreciate you
whiskey
for joining
bombs.
tonight. Eric's Morph Factory. What's up tonight? How's it going? Mike and Melissa, Weekend Warriors.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Appreciate you guys.
Let me some love for them. A nice round of applause. Please, 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 for our weekend warriors. Appreciate y'all.
Who else we got?
We
I
got
see
Tara in
Spring.
the building. Hold up,
Tara,
buddy.
Voodoo. Appreciate you joining tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Christopher Walker.
Christopher Walker, appreciate you coming by, becoming a regular in the chats. Appreciate that. Dwight the Pied Man, he's been hitting some awesome clutches, man. If you haven't
Homie
kept up on
Slade.
what he's doing, check him out. Homie Slay in the building, we appreciate you. I almost wore his hat. We would have been matching.
This man should have been here, but he had to work. I'm saying he's gonna be co-hosting, but I gotta sit here and play double duty, take the background and co-host. But I still appreciate you, know, right, Kizzy. Do what he says. Smash the like, hit the subscribe button, turn notification bells on. Don't be a buster. No busters allowed here. No
And if
peeping
you
toms.
love
You gotta
Tri Stripe,
participate to be here. Hit the like button at the very least. But you can do more than that. Put some whiskey bombs in the chat. Let us know you're here. We got
and if you
Jay
like Tri
Williams.
Stripe, drop them Tri Stripes in the chat.
Drop the tri strike. I know the homie
Amy, Herb
Jamie
Collector,
representing Herb Collectors next. Meet your tap in on Thursdays at Herb Collectors Network, please. Lauren's back. Spectral Surface. Thanks for tapping in.
appreciate you guys
There
joining.
goes Spring Creek. Weekend Warrior.
Weekend
That's
Warrior
the
in the
homie South
house.
Park. I'm gonna call him South Park. His real name is Kenny, but I'm gonna call him South Park. Who killed Kenny? I don't know, but I do know we got appreciation for South Park.
Hell yeah. And if
Thanks
you
for
are a
tapping
weekend
in.
warrior, consider becoming one. And you don't have to become a weekend warrior to become a member. Make sure you guys consider becoming a member for daily
Yeah,
exclusive
we got
content, behind the scenes.
a very very we got tier a leopard tier. You know, join leopard tier. People love leopards. You know who loves leopards? I'm about to show you. I'm about to share who
What
loves
up,
leopards.
Pat?
Wiz loves leopards. He loves
Wiz.
leopards so much he rides to town on them. So if you want to ride to town like on a leopard like Wiz, join the leopard gang. Come on, do that, do that. All right, come on, stop trying to
What
distract me,
up,
bro. I
Pat?
don't know what your problem is. We got more whiskey. Look at all these whiskey bombs, y'all. I love whiskey bombs. I don't know about y'all. Ryan, you look so happy to be back there. I love whiskey bombs. Smile for me, bro. I see you. Like, who's this weirdo? Why is he so loud? I can't help myself, okay? I can't. I really can't. Who else we
Man,
got?
the
We got
chat's going
Jamie
crazy
in the
tonight. We
building
appreciate you
with the
all.
whiskey bombs. Appreciate you for the man. Give him a hard applause, Mr. Bro.
Amy in the
Love these
house.
wicked
The
warriors,
warrior.
man. Damn. Oh,
Shout outs on every show that you show up in the chat to.
all right. Who else? We got my homie Adrian in the building. I'm gonna do one more. Because
Adrian in the
I know
building.
y'all ready to see some snakes. Y'all ready to stop hearing me bump my mother freaking gums.
We
So we
love
got
shouting you
one
all
more
out though.
freaking warrior, the homie Vin
Vinny
Rock
in the
in
house.
the building. So I'm gonna tell y'all something about Vinny. Besides, I'm gonna give him a round of applause. Vinny, Vinny is the one that's responsible for all these memes. All these memes I just be throwing up. Vinny be doing all these, man. So shout out to the homie Vinny. 'Cause I would send KG to like hang out with us, but he ain't gonna use it. So he can't come hang out with us. So I'm gonna just drop this sponsorship video and we're gonna get to our guests. You ready, Jared? You ready, bro? All
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
right, man, let's get it.
We'll be right back.
I gotta get back to the top. Then we can go. All right.
Banana Bread Royals demonstrates that taking risks leads to incredible rewards. Their work with Hypo is outstanding, and the way they combine it with their Wookiee line is truly unparalleled. The interaction with other genes like Blackhead and Stranger produces breathtaking, one-of-a-kind animals. Be sure to follow them on Morph Market and Instagram. Lindworm Exotics specializes in a multitude of reptiles such as ball pythons, dual boas, coastal rosy boas, and false water cobras, to name a few. They are dedicated to providing the public with well-adjusted animals with superior quality. Follow them on Instagram and Morph Market. Black Box Reptile Cages should be your go-to for high-quality reptile enclosures and rack systems. They offer versatile hatchling and adult racks that work with both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, as well as a wide range of terrestrial, arboreal, and bioactive cages. Located in Beaufort, Georgia, Black Box Reptile Cages offers local pickup as well as ship and freight. Check them out at blackboxcages.com and use code WhiskeyBomb25 for 5% off. Selective Reptiles works with a wide range of genetic combos, including Hypo VPI Exantic, DG VPI Exantic, and Zebra, but where they stand out is their work with Monsoon, Monarch, Sunset, and other high-end morphs. In addition to reptiles, they produce premium feeder rodents delivering to Florida, Georgia, and North and South Carolina. Make sure to use promo code WhiskeyBomb5 for 5% off any snake. Check them out on Wolf Market or reach out directly. From fur to feathers, Fuzzy Acres has your feeder needs covered. Whether you're looking for frozen rats, bulk rabbits, or harder to find feeders like quail and guinea pigs, they've got the stock serious keepers rely on. Visit fuzzyacres.com for clean, healthy feeders that are frozen and shipped with care. Remember to use code WhiskeyBomb10 to save 10% on any order, and as always, enjoy free shipping on all orders over $300. Grant and Mary of Rec Room Snakes have been breeding ball pythons and Woma pythons for over a decade. They're staples within the ball python realm and most notably known for their work with the paint mutation and putting it to multiple codoms and recessives to truly unlock its potential. Please give them a follow on Morph Market to check out their incredible animals and on Instagram to keep up with their projects.
Yeah, man. Round of applause for our sponsors, please, man. Round of applause for our sponsors, please. Yeah, all right, man. Yo, man, these people always clapping. Look, I'm trying to talk. Yo, so I don't know if y'all like saving money or not, but if you like saving money, holla at our sponsors. I'm sure at least one of them going to have something in your projects. Tell them we sent you. Save some dough and take advantage of those discount codes. Save some money. I like saving money. Maybe y'all don't like saving money, but if you like saving money, take advantage of these codes. Take advantage of our relationship with our sponsors and save some money, man. Stop playing. Jared,
And network with them. They ain't afraid to talk snakes. If you just want to hit them up, talk snakes because they're in a project that you have interest in, that's how you build connections. And they are great sponsors. They're great people. That's why we like having them as sponsors as well, because we can recommend them to anybody for advice as well. So definitely reach out to them for any of your concerns, questions, or inquiries.
ooh, big facts. You always
So
spit
if
facts, bro.
y'all,
That's why I like you. Nothing but facts come out that man's mouth, except when he's bullshitting. Other than that,
yeah.
facts.
So if y'all are ready to introduce these guests tonight, I am very excited to introduce them to you. So unfortunately, we had a couple of hiccups with technical difficulties, and
Blame this.
Mandy with Next Morph Reptiles. She may be popping in later, but as of right now, we're going to showcase her animals with some photos that she's going to send since she had some technical difficulties joining us tonight. So, without further ado, though, let's get into the guests that were able to make it tonight. And we are going to start off with, I think, one that a lot of us are familiar with. They're a husband and wife duo who are super passionate, devoted to the reptiles, working top tier projects like Sunset, Tri-Stripe, True Ghost, along with combos keepers just can't get enough of. Let's welcome Corey and Aaron from Colorado Cold Bloods.
See, Jared, there you go. Jared was able to clap for y'all for a minute. You see him, right? I was ready. I was ready.
Hilarious.
Let's go. Let's go.
So, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
of course.
excited.
Thanks for inviting us.
Always fun.
I know you guys have had some very popular tri-stripe clutches lately, and
I don't know what you're
throwing
talking
them off, but you've had some other ones too. Did you guys have any good luck in the odds on those recent clutches?
We missed. We missed several,
Okay.
but yeah, we were going after the hypo ultramel try. Missed on that one. We ended up somehow only getting 2 hypos out of the batch.
Oh wow.
Now, in all fairness, it was triple het to triple het, so the odds
Yeah.
weren't great anyway. But you'd think we'd at least get maybe
least
one of
one,
each out of
but
8 eggs. But
Gotcha.
yeah, so yep.
Well,
So
we're excited for you guys to walk us through the animals that you have produced and that you have raised up and are breeding. And yeah, it's going to be a great episode. Thanks for joining us again. Let's go ahead and welcome our next guest. Our next guest started off his journey with a rubber boa and quickly became obsessed with snakes, specifically python species. And he's known for his work with a lot of uncommon species of pythons and a few different tree boas that I'm aware of. But I know him most for his work with green tree pythons, and he has an amazing tri-stripe and ball python collection, well, project and ball python collection that he rarely talks about. Let's welcome Ryan Young from Molecular Reptile.
All right, man. I'm answering the door. This guy's ready to come over here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. So, it's funny that a rubber boa was your first snake, because when I was like 16 years old and I worked in my first pet store, they still had the wild caught rubber boas that they would sell occasionally, and I just wanted one so bad. I never actually got one, but those were always a favorite species of mine. What was it like owning one of those for your first reptile, though?
I mean, she was a great snake. She was not like they usually are. She ate right away and did really good, and so just an amazing introduction to keeping snakes. So.
And if anybody isn't aware, the rubber boa is one of only 2 species of boa that inhabits the United States, and that's the rosy boa species and the rubber boa species. And yeah, I just love those. The little brown worms, and their heads look like their butts.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to have you on the show. We've talked many years, especially with the green tree pythons and everything, with the Marukis back in the early 2010s when I was really diving into all that. But it's rare to get to talk about the ball pythons. So thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about your work with Tri-Stripe. How long have you been working the Tri-Stripe?
I don't remember the exact year I got one. I had the original founder, VPI, Burgundy albino female that Tracy sent over here on loan, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to breed with it. She had made pied double hets, which I acquired, and then I told her I really wanted to do a tri-stripe, and she got a male from NOCO out of Colorado, I believe. I believe it was the male that proved his line out. And she acquired that animal and then sent him over here. And so I've had him, and then I bred him to the Burgundy albino once, a lavender snow once, and I bred him, and I made some sugar hets, and that's pretty much all I did with it. Unfortunately, I didn't do a ton.
Oh wow,
So,
okay. And I mean, you've gotten some really beautiful visuals out of the projects you did work so far, so that's really cool. What's your favorite co-dominant to mix into the tri-stripe right now?
well, the only one I've done is sugar, and I really like the results I've gotten. So
Okay.
I'll have to stick with that, I guess.
So we got one more guest hiding in the back waiting for his introduction, and he is definitely a special guest. Let's just put it that way. He is half of the founders, the original founders of the TSK line, Exanthic. Let's welcome Dan Sutherland from TSK. How's it going, Dan? Thank you for joining us again.
Oh, you are welcome.
So, it was great to have you on last time for the TSK episode, and now another mutation that you guys were the founders of, at least one of the lines, the original line, and we were kind of going over it backstage about how the videos trace back to around 2006, but the history kind of got lost beyond that, and just so happens I got the best two guys here to tell the story, because Ryan seems to have a lot of history with seeing that original animal. Can you guys kind of tell us about that, starting with you, Dan?
I was going to say let Ryan start with it because he remembers more than I do.
Okay, sounds good.
I was down in Southern California visiting a friend of mine that happened to know Dan, and this must have been early 2000, 2003 to 2005, somewhere in that area. And he passively mentioned that he knew Dan, and I was getting into ball pythons. I had a few, and I was like, oh, I'd really love to meet them. And so he arranged it, and we went up to Dan's place. And you guys were very gracious and showed me around. And towards the end of the visit, you were like, oh, check this snake out. We just got it a couple weeks ago. And you slid open a tub, and there was the baby tri-stripe in the back of the tub. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And you were like, it's so neat. And you were like, but we both were joking about how, yeah, too bad the stripe stuff never proves out.
Never
And so,
does, man.
so we just kind of were joking about it. And I thought that was one of the neatest snakes I'd ever seen. And then, to watch what you did with it later, I was very impressed. So.
Quick question. Did the original have a really strong tri-stripe, or was it like half tri-striped on the sides?
Oh, it was full on tri-stripe.
Full. Okay.
Yeah, in my memory, it was mint. That thing was the most perfect thing I ever seen.
Yeah, it was. It had great color. It was just awesome looking. That's why it was so cool.
Yep.
So
I'm
after
sorry.
seeing that,
Homie
what?
Jim is in the building. I gotta. Corey got some merch, and if I see merch, he got to show it off because I got the family in the building, Mike and Melissa. So you gotta show off that Proxima shirt. Stop playing. yes.
Shout out to Mike and Melissa. Good folks over at Proxima.
Shout out Mike and Melissa.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Jim. Jim joined us to do an update on his tri-stripes that he's hatched out. He's had some amazing tri-stripes, and if anybody has missed it, they get to see him again tonight. So I'm excited. Those are some amazing animals.
I'm gonna see Jim on Friday. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So as you were saying though, you guys you showed them the snake, and it was one of those harlequin-y striped animals that weren't proven out back in the early 2000s. Lots of harlequin animals coming in, not proven out. And then how long, or what was the process for you, Dan, as far as proving out the tri-stripe, and what did you mix it into initially?
Oh man, those are hard questions.
If
The
you
thing
remember.
is we were bringing in animals out of Africa. We had different things coming in, and because of the joke, like Ryan said, these things aren't going to prove out anyways. That animal literally got put in the corner of the room in like the second to bottom cage in a freedom breeder rack,
What's good,
and
James?
it sat there for years, literally years. It just sat there. Um, when I was talking to Ryan about the tri-stripe, another animal came in at the same time. I believe it was the same time, and that was the coffee ball. And we thought the coffee ball. Well, it was actually two. There was this what we
And
called.
that's coffee like the drink, right? Not the candy toffee.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, coffee like the drink. Okay.
Yep. And so another one came in that we called a chalk. Well, a friend called it a chocolate type thing, and we thought that that would prove out, and the tri-stripe wouldn't. So we put our effort into that one, and the tri-stripe just sat there. I mean, we were working back then with the clowns and the killer clown, and we had so much going with that and the axanthic that the tri-stripe just became a back burner project back in the corner that just didn't get attention.
Yeah, y'all were swamped with the clown and the clown pied project
Yeah,
direction at the
all
time.
that stuff, and so we were putting our effort into that at the time, and that other one just kind of sat there, and so we didn't breed it into anything. And then when we finally proved it out, and we said, well, we don't. There's no heads for anything here. We didn't breed it into anything.
Yeah,
Mm.
And so that's why it was such a project that was so far behind.
gotcha.
To watch it prove out was kind of caught us off guard. That was cool. It was amazing.
Did you kind of kick yourself? Like, why didn't
Oh yeah.
I just do
Yeah.
this sooner?
I mean, that was a $10,000, $20,000 snake just sitting there in the corner, just not getting any attention at all.
Wow. That's how much they were back then for an
Yeah,
import that had promise, huh?
it was rough. Yeah, oh yeah. And we just let it sit there. There was just too much going on. And you know what? It probably had to do with having a family of 4 kids and where everything else that was going on, that it just wasn't one of those ones that got the attention it should have at the time.
And that says a lot too, because for a potential new mutation to cost $20,000 to look similar, or have similarities to so many harlequin striped animals that didn't prove to still demand that type of price tag, it just shows you how the industry was coming up back then,
Well,
and everything could potentially be the next big thing.
I mean, if we would have bred that into all the things that we should have at the time, it would have made a lot of money. A lot earlier than where we are today. Well, because we didn't do it, look at all the people that are getting to do cool stuff with it today.
For sure, for
So
sure.
a lot of people are benefiting by us being slackers and not doing anything with it.
That's a good point. That's a good
Salute
point.
to the
So,
slackers. Y'all
There's
are
a lot
appreciated.
of legs in the project.
well, and even back then, I don't know, when did YouTube come into existence? Because there wasn't much going on back then on
It
YouTube.
was around 2001,
Yeah, so it was just getting going, and so
I think 2002, 2001. Yeah,
a lot more publicity with projects now than what we would have had back then, anyway.
yeah, definitely.
Well, Dan, if it helps, the first tri-stripe we bought came from you. So our founder of our father of the tri-stripes is yours.
Yep,
Oh,
there it
awesome!
is. You
There
Nice.
you
indirectly
go.
did it.
Well, you guys,
Thank
are
you.
you, Dan, excited to see what these awesome
Oh,
breeders
I
have
want to
been
see
doing
what's
with this
happened with it.
project?
Oh, I'm sure people have bred that to things of morphs I've never even heard of before.
Yes, yes.
So no, I
So,
love seeing it.
so let's start with Ryan because we actually have a series of photos to pull up, and I sent them sort of in order to where it's like
Well,
least dramatic to most dramatic.
that's to my phone, and then I gotta download it to my laptop, then download it. So
Oh, and
they're
then
not
they
gonna be in
come
that.
in
So they're
all
not gonna be in
mixed
that
up.
order. Yeah.
I got you.
Only thing I separated was
Well,
honorable mentions. So if you
I
tell
didn't
me
hear
what
that
you want,
one.
only thing I separate was the honorable mention. So you tell me
Oh,
what you
okay.
want. Like you want me to pull
That's
out
fine.
Ultra Male, I'll do Ultra Male. Just tell me what you want.
They're pretty easy to see though, because the more normal ones are darker, and then the calico
Just want to
and
see the
or the
normal ones.
sugar, and then the ultramels. Yeah,
Gotcha.
kind of work through the colors. But you were saying that calico and sugar were one of your favorite codoms to mix in, and then
Well, I just thought that I didn't see anybody had been doing it, and I thought that the way the white comes in on a sugar and the way the tri-stripes can be kind of patternless towards the bottom, I thought maybe that you would get a higher expression of white
those ones
than
are another breeder's photos
than you
there.
would. So
Sorry, can't help you then, buddy. But
No,
there's
you're
something
good. They
together.
just came through weird. Let's see here. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong one.
but the
So
ultramel tri-stripe,
Ryan's is
man, I had
gonna
to earn
have the
them.
gray marble background.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then yeah, you just kind of go through like the basic one with the dots on the tail first. And would you say that that's a low expression calico? No. Oh yeah, you're getting there. The that one's from
Only I
Mark
got
Petros. That's a
so only
honorable
ones I got up
mention
there.
for
I
later.
got these marble. It's got these two with marble. These two with
And then there
marble.
should be some dark background, some dark animals with a gray background.
Not right here. Let me go back
These
to
here,
only other I got a back.
they must not have loaded.
They didn't load. Then I have to go through
Oh,
them all.
here, if you want to blow me up, I'll just show you from my phone real quick.
All right.
So that one there is one I was trying to get pulled up. So this one here
That's just
is
a tri-stripe.
okay. It's just a regular tri-stripe.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
trippy.
possible het for ultramel.
Okay, so maybe a little, because I noticed how reduced the sides were, and like the keyholes that stretch are kind of more granity.
Yeah, I
So
get quite a
It's
bit of
trippy
that
the
where
way
it's
the
not.
dorsal starts with like that bright yellow and then goes dark and then finishes with the bright yellow again.
yeah, let me pull it up in a different photo that I'll actually get it to go sideways. There we go. So that's just normal old tri-stripe, but that
Yep.
actually has a lot of tail pattern there. And then the next animal here, you actually got the calico into it.
Yeah, that was the first one I made.
That thing is really beautiful.
Yeah, he's a nice snake. I like him.
I like how the dorsal pattern, it's just like big old thumbprints on the dorsal, you know?
Yeah, the sugar seemed to make it kind of blocky up there on the spine.
Gotcha. And this is calico or sugar? This is the sugar line?
Sugar, yeah.
Okay. Now this one's a little bit lower expression on the white.
Yeah, that's a lower expression one.
And
I
were
think I've
these all
made
clutch
3 or 4.
mates?
No, I think I've had 4. I think I've made 4 different ones. Memory serves me.
Okay.
2.2, I think.
And
So, Ryan,
then,
were you saying these
yeah.
ones were no-co line?
But I got them now.
Yeah, these are all no-co line.
Hold on. I'm gonna
Breakfast.
get them up.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
So Noco line, and that's also the Noco line calico then too, right? Or is it a different line
I'm not
calico?
sure. I got the sugars from Tracy. I don't know. I don't know if it was one from that she started or somebody else started.
Okay, yeah. Sugars have always been separated, so that should be its own lineage. that's probably why they're so much more chained and kind of granulated, because sugar is always a little bit more expressive than the calico with the rippling at the bottom and stuff. Now, are you going to try to work that into a direction to bring more separation into like the lateral patterning, or are you going to try to bring the striping, the third striping, back into the sides, or where are you thinking
I'm
of
probably
taking
just going
that?
to put it into the Ultramel stuff and see what happens.
That would be pretty cool, yeah. And it's hand in hand because you have both. Let's see that Ultramel that you have, Ryan. How many did you hit? 2?
This year I hit 4 of them,
4 of them.
That's
Wow.
but it's been a slog. I've probably had 15 clutches from double het to double het, and I think I've only hit 6 total. So,
Okay.
and up until the final clutch this year, I'd only hit 4, or I hit 3 in the last clutch, and then I'd only hit 2 previously or 3 previously. So it's
I
been a
really like
slog.
that. It almost helps the striping on the horizontal, on the laterals. It almost helps it stay there, but it breaks it up, you know? It's got dashes.
Yeah, and this is the burgundy line, the Type B Ultramel.
Type B, okay. So
So
type A is just
I
the
have the
regular.
founder. Yeah, I have the founder wild female that VPI imported, and that's
Nice.
what
Well,
I
that's
bred
cool.
the.
If anybody
Okay.
didn't know, the Type B is the burgundy line, which would just make the Type A the regular Ultramel line then.
Yeah, the Type A is the Ernie Wagner line, and then later on the African caramels or whatever they started calling them later.
Yeah, the Ultramels from, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those are also the A type?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Something new every day.
I haven't heard of
Well,
So,
Ernie Wagner.
ironically, if I hadn't been involved, like the lady from that was working the college, figuring out the Ultramel thing, I sent her the sheds, and that's how she discovered there was even the Type B. Because she
oh,
contacted me, she's like, "How come your Ultramels are doing weird things that nobody else's are doing?" So that's how she
gotcha.
figured it out.
Hmm. And um, have you worked any pairings towards the future, trying to mix any other recessives into the tri-stripe project? Do you think that there are any recessives it's going to be strong with?
I've made triple het lab snow tri stripes,
Okay.
but that's it.
I did get a chance to see a DG Hypo tri-stripe, and that blew away my expectations. I thought that it was going to be more drab and faded out, but it had so much more color than even what it probably did as a baby. I was blown away.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
the hypo really works in the tri-stripe. We know that.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have a very diverse ball python collection, so
Yeah.
it's
what up,
mostly Ultramel
Elias?
stuff and a few
Appreciate
lavender
you.
things.
Let's get into some live snakes, though. Weekend Warrior. So, Colorado Cold Bloods, I think we're ready for your showcase down there.
Ready for the onslaught?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go.
So, couple questions real quick. I don't know if you want us to start with hets and just kind of showing what we view as markers or lack thereof in many cases.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
We can do that. So
We
let's
definitely love talking indicators.
let's start with Gamora and Nebula. So, kind of what I tell folks all the time in regards to markers. I always like to give this disclaimer that many cases, unless you know it's there, treat it like pie, right? In some cases, it's going to mean absolutely nothing, and other times you're going to have markers on snakes that are absolutely not het. So,
Yep.
like for example, this is one of our original females. She is 100% het for try. You can see there's not a whole lot going on as far as any potential markers. You have a little bit of elongations that are going on, but for the most part, and she's not going to sit still, but for the most part, looks like a standard normal to you, right?
Yeah. The only thing
Wow.
that jumps out to me from like what I know of the indicators is that the alien heads are high and tight.
Yep.
That's about the only indicator you see on that girl.
Yeah. And guaranteed 100% het try. She's one of the ones that produced our first visuals, so no question there. This is her sibling, similar, very normal. She's very bright, but that's because we later found out through pairing that she is also 100% het for hypo. So
Okay.
that girl, like I said, you've got some extra nice high areas as well as where there would have been alien head eyes, nice elongations on there, but you got a little bit of that extra, but that's about it, right? So in variation, there's absolutely some indicators that are helpful, but you definitely have to treat it like a pied indicator. It's not one of those ones that's going to sit here and scream and shout that I'm 100% het for it. Now, the other disclaimer that goes with that is we are 98% TSK try here. So
Shout out to the snake keeper.
heck yeah. So let's do the hypo
And
het
shout out
try.
to shed testing too,
And the
because
NC het try.
we like to use these markers as helpful identifiers to maybe help us pick holdbacks. But that was, a thing of the past because shed testing's changing the game. All we need is a tri-stripe test.
Yeah, he's kind of.
Make sure you guys are using code WhiskeyBomb10 for 10% off at
This boy's
shedtesting.com.
deep in shed, but again, so this one's going to be a hypo enchi. So now he's just a super hypo. But your enchi's really going to bring in all that banding, but you're going to sit there and fight. It's going to fight the tri markers for sure. Beautiful animal, but again, it's just standard hypo enchi at this point, right? That's all really the clue for.
Yeah, it doesn't have any kind of markers, but
yeah. So I've noticed pretty heavily that in general our TSK stuff, we get the slightly helpful markers here and there, but only if you're really looking. Like for a perfect example here is you see that double connection going on where there is some eyes. You're getting a little bit of that extra stuff going on.
Yeah, the eyes are high and tight, but they don't stretch because they're more reduced.
Right. The other indicator that people have brought up in the past, and I'm not necessarily a firm believer on it. So if you look at the belly, one of the things that people will say is that the central portion of the belly will be completely blanked out. I have seen that on a couple animals, but again, it's nothing.
It's nothing that's
It's
definite.
never been significant enough where I actually treat that as a real marker.
Yeah.
It's not been consistent enough. We'll be clear with that.
I hear that. There's some clown markers that people pick out that I feel the same way about.
Yeah.
What up, KG? Thanks for dropping by. Tinley Week, yep.
So,
Yeah.
we have a boatload of hets, so I'm trying to cut it down for you.
Saving the best for last.
So we have this boy here. So this is just our standard hypo, but it is double het for axanthic tri-stripe. So it's actually one of the sires to our production this year.
And even that keyhole right there above your thumb, below your thumb if you flip it over, it's like that's what you kind of look for, is like that thinned out, high and tight keyhole. But it's not apparent. It's not consistent when you mix in other mutations, and it's like you really only were able to use that in the normals back in the day.
So I'm a sucker for full tries all the way down. I want those side stripes, everything like that, right? So what I've found and my general philosophy when working tri-stripe is the more pattern you give it to work with, the more it has to interact with and to react to. So one of the ones we worked heavily into is the HRA. So this is the HRA hypo het tri-stripe. Gorgeous.
Oh, nice.
His color is amazing. It gives the extra kind of boosting on the hypo with the extra kind of highlights going on
Yeah.
for this animal.
And even those keyholes are pinched, like they want to pinch
Yes.
on the ends.
Absolutely. And you'll definitely see it. Obviously, HRA kind of does this on its own. But when you have two of these interacting like that, you end up getting a
Block chain.
lot more of that chaining. Absolutely. So, yes, like I said, HRA definitely has that kind of reaction normally, but it really stretches those things out when you give it something to pair to and work from.
Hell yeah. If you're stopping by Tinley, make sure you go and put a bomb in your projects.
Uh,
Is it,
we'll probably skip the mahogany and the harlequin ones, but let's do the pastel hypo. She's going to be in that rack over there. Over that side. Bottom center. So this one's going to be hypo, pastel hypo blackhead het tri-stripe.
Sorry. I can't see
Yeah.
pastel blackhead.
Yep. So one of the ones that we've heavily wanted to see with tri-stripe. So a good kind of description that I have with the tris is when you're producing tri-stripes, you will notice absolutely, especially as babies, that black is deep, dark black, right? It is very, it's okay. So pardon, she's got a little bit of stuck shed going on, but this one's going to be our blackhead pastel hypo. And she is 100% het for tri-stripe. But the extra glow that's going on there between even with the pastel, oddly enough, I think the pastel actually did some good things with this. Love or hate it, right? But again, you're really starting to see those kind of nice linkings going on. This is a decent example of it. The blackhead's going to kind of do a little bit, but you get that thicker dorsal with the blackhead as well.
Yeah, those little, the pinching of the keyholes, it's like one of the most consistent things that I see. It's just, you get the reduction and then there's no longer anything to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, and blackhead has a tendency to kind of just create the straight up keyholes in general.
Yep.
But you can definitely see as it got closer up towards the front, you're stretching them, right?
Yeah.
So, really, you're going to need a soak.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much where I'll go with the hets. We do have some DG hets, but they're not. They're a
They
DG.
cleaned it up, right? The DG het cleaned it up.
Yep. We're working on our triple stuff for the hypo DG tri-stripe stuff, but right now most of that's just combos in the making for the hets. So we'll jump to some of the visuals. Let's hit the NOCO and Trinity. So this is going to be the one NOCO tri-stripe that we have. I figure we'll put these two kind of side by side so you can see a little bit of the difference. I'll describe a little bit of what I see as the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, he's starting to go blue.
No, he's starting his shed.
Yeah. So he's just starting to go shed. So he's
Oh my
not
God, she's
not
so
the brightest.
low.
Is she?
Okay. She's like
Grab
extremely
the other girl instead then. So this is our one NOCO tri-stripe that's hanging out. So we picked him up. We wanted some nice fresh bloodlines. So something that I've noticed in general with the NOCO line versus the actual with the TSK line, I'll probably let Jim talk more about the KMR stuff because I know he's pretty heavily invested that side. But you can definitely see the difference. These animals, obviously, they're different in age, so this one's going to be a bit brighter. But one of the heavy things that I noticed between the two is the NOCO line seems to be more granity. So you get a lot more of that kind of granite belly coming up. It's more pixelated along these edges, whereas a lot of our TSK stuff, it's kind of, you have a little bit of the granite in there, but it's more of the belly reaction on our TSKs than we do the others. I don't know how well that's going to show, but the belly is one of the things I love the most on the tri-stripe too, because especially with a lot of these blacks at the base, you're going to end up getting a lot of that kind of flaming coming up through the center of it, and that reaction is fantastic. And I think that's exactly why for Ryan, like I agree that the calico is a phenomenal option, or the sugars are a phenomenal option for those. They react well. Obviously, calico elongates everything pretty well. on its own. But so that's typically what we're producing out of our visual tri-stripes. So we're actually often getting our tries to go all the way down to the base of the tail, or at
Are
least
you getting a lot more of that bubbled dorsal stripe, where the alien heads kind of are having more of that shape to the top of them?
Generally for most of our tries. And once we pull out the hypo tries, you'll see a more prominent example of what we see with it. On tri-stripe has definitely been pretty variable for us in the sense that we'll get visual tri animals that only go about halfway to two-thirds down the body, and when
Uh-huh.
it starts doing that, yes, you're going to get that kind of clean bubbling on the back. Let's go Duke. The it's interesting to kind of see how that varies and changes. The HRA tries that we did, and we might pull one of those out, but they're definitely the HRA kind of broke up that pattern pretty significantly. But
Oh
this is
man,
this is our typical hypo try that we produce. Um,
Banger.
so
man, this is Coach's favorite day. Corey done said HRA like 10
What
times.
up,
H
Ash
and
and
Coach
Kita?
is probably like got goosebumps all over right now.
Mhm.
He's going crazy in the chats.
Yeah,
so,
look at the burnout in the
but you can
dorsal. It's like
definitely
a whole
see
extra stripe.
our stripes go nice and far down. This one's actually starting to break up more than normal. But the I love the hypo tri stripe. The hypo tri, that's actually what we first picked up from TSK. Is our visual double hypo tri stripe, and he got the name King because he literally rules the roost around here. Um, so there's also been some interesting kind of anomalies that we see with them. So this is also our just a straight visual hypo tri, but as you can see, we have that extra dorsal coming in. And multiple siblings did not have this same patterning whatsoever, but the occasional one comes out like this where they just get that extra kind of bump in the center and it becomes almost quad stripe. It's not something that I've seen as a consistent thing whatsoever. And I'm sure it could be something that's like a line bred or line bred trait potentially. And that's kind of the goal, is to hopefully kind of travel down that path to see if that's.
That's wild with the dorsal stripe like that.
So the fun story behind this animal is, as we mentioned, that one girl, surprised we proved out she was het hypo. This is how we found out. We bought her originally as just a double het tri-stripe, or sorry, single het tri-stripe. I was attempting to get her to breed. She wouldn't do it. Tossed in our hypo tri male just to make some at least visual tri-stripes het for hypo, so start building up the breeding army. And when I went to cut that clutch, we had 4 hypo tri-stripe babies, 1 tri-stripe het hypo, and 1 normal. So, or 1 double het rather. So it was a nice shock and surprise, but that's another reason that I really love how that stripe came out. The other 3 siblings, none of them had that extra kind of center dorsal stripe. So that's something that we want to focus from a potential for a line bred trait.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it just came out really cool, and it's funny because originally when she hatched out, I'm like, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Have
thought,
any of you, anyone else on the panel, have any of you ever seen that much dorsal pattern? No? They can't see you shaking your heads.
Yeah.
all right. Let's do. You already showed that. Just to change it up, let's do the HRA pin. He's in the black.
Yeah, that pattern on the dorsal like that has me real intrigued. Like, is it another
Well,
carrier that's just tagging along that you can
right.
isolate, or what?
Yeah, and I'm curious because like even on our leopard tries, yeah. So he's also in blue, of course, because anytime you want to show anything off, right? So this is our HRA pinstripe tri-stripe.
Hypo. No, I'm just kidding.
At least it's head hypo. This one's not an hypo early. But I love what it did. Trying to bring it down. I love what it did pattern. I love what the HRA and the Tri did to the belly together. I think it turned out pretty cool. I have a love-hate relationship with Pinstripe, I'll be honest. But
I have to be honest, it's not the worst. I can't really hate
I
it. I actually like it.
so there technically is the potential. I believe this one also has the potential for spot nose, but generally, it cleaned it up. I love it how it kind of made like almost puzzle pieces or blocks towards the center dorsal with
Yeah,
that.
can you hold it closer to the camera for
Yeah,
us?
sorry, trying to get. And
Oh
I
yeah,
wish I
yeah.
wish you could see the color better, but obviously he's nice and
He's in
frosty.
shed.
Yeah.
So are you thinking you hit the spot nose with the accentuated gold dorsal? And is there any kind of head pattern that would lead you to believe that it maybe hit the spot nose in there?
The head kind of leans that way on the pattern on the back of the head, but my only issue with it is that typically with most of the spot nose we produce, they tend to just be brighter animals. They've got that extra pop of
Yeah,
color,
they have an extra
and
goldness
this
in their
one is
dorsal.
very, very dark.
Can we
And
see the head on that one close to the
yep,
camera?
same one. Real quick.
Sorry, thought you had it
No,
out still.
you're good. You're good. Um, oh yeah. There you go.
I saw a spot nose puzzle when I was
So
scouting for this episode, and I thought that it was
most of
super
it.
interesting.
Let's see if I can get it to show very well or not. But it's mostly the back of the head. I know you're gonna duck under. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, kid. Um, so most of it is the back of the head that's kind of giving me that
I
hint.
see, because it has some pattern on the
Yeah,
back of the head, and the
it's
kind of
kind of
like the blushing is
created.
more mottled.
It kind of created like an island on the head, right?
Yeah,
And then it just breaks up before it hits that pattern on the back. Um, so that's the only clue. I'm like maybe, but again, normally with any of our spot nose stuff, they're just night and day, prominent, bright. Um, so this is what we believe is the HRA tri-stripe. You can kind of see the coloring variation. You see that belly. It's got that extra flaming and stuff going up on that belly, which obviously we tend to get a good bit of that. But for it to be this elongated across, this side's probably a better example. But it goes almost all the way down that back.
oh
That
yeah, all the
um,
lift too.
yeah. Now
I
the
seen
downside.
a shout out to Rexinger Reptiles, Stephanie. She just had a clutch of tri stripes, and she hatched a cinnamon tri stripe, I believe it was, and that thing looked crazy. It looked like it had 5 stripes on it almost.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's
it was pewter tri stripe.
computer try. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's interesting is, like I said, on the HRA stuff, it definitely breaks up the pattern a lot more significantly towards the back here. I'm turning it backwards. So you can start to see those breaks, right? It's really kind of combating with the additional kind of the keyholing that it's attempting to do. The other thing, remember I mentioned that belly. So this is
yeah.
kind of what folks have talked about, right? Is even on their heads they claim to see that they have that kind of blanked out belly. That's what they're talking about. And again, I've seen it on more visuals than I have the actual. Oh, sure. So
Yeah, it's not
Aaron,
consistent enough to
Aaron
look for.
brought the straight tri-stripe over, so you can kind of see the color balance difference. If I can turn the snake's right,
Yeah,
you can
the
see the reds
HRA
coming.
is more rich.
Yep, and it's because the camera's backwards. I'm confused. There you go. So there's all the reds. So those are some of the things that have kind of been clues or indicators that everybody's kind of spoken about. Keep in mind that almost everything you've seen so far has been, if it's not a visual hypo, it's head hypo, with
Okay.
the exception of the no-co try. Now the next one, let's do Cyric. He's going to be on this rack to the right. So we didn't produce this boy, but he's a blade het tri-stripe. We got this one originally from Kyle over Kyle Frost. So
Shout out to Kyle.
absolutely, he's doing some amazing stuff right now.
He just hit the puzzle
Yeah,
tri-stripe, which
that puzzle
we
trial
have
is
a
amazing.
picture to pull up in a second.
Oh, you're gonna be a butthead. So this snake came out of the bag hating my guts. So that's why I'm just walking. Yeah. So he's nice and bright, but just for a blade try or blade leopard het try, he's very very clean.
Very
Uh,
Yeah,
so
I'm surprised how much Blade overpowered the leopard.
it's pretty
That's such a
strong.
simple combo, and I've never seen one of those. Just a simple Blade leopard.
Wow.
Yo, shout out to Will, Weekend Warrior.
So that boy helped us produce our. We hit two visual leopard tries. I have no idea if Blade hit on either one of these, to be honest. That's okay. I mean, the pattern's more what we care about on this one.
Not.
Okay, bring them both.
Definitely an interesting spread. It's walking us through a lot of the different
Oh
combos
no,
that have been
that's why
made.
she warned you. It's we got a lot to go through. We're clearing through most of them here pretty quick,
We
actually.
still
So,
gotta do the show sponsors.
Okay.
so these are the two leopard tries that we hit, and you can see the variability between these two animals is pretty wild.
We'll have to wait and blow you up in a minute.
Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, wait for Prophet to come back. What were you saying about the differences, though, between them?
So these two animals, their pattern is significantly different between each other, and I imagine that it's probably because Blade's playing with one of them. But there's one of them very specifically that I absolutely love how the pattern came out. I know you don't want to sit still.
Trying to get them.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the first one. This is the one I suspect has the blade.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see it's very, very elongated, but you can absolutely see the leopard influence.
Smoother and fatter, and yeah, I agree that one.
So it's pretty wonky, and if you only looked at the front half, you may not even expect the try going on.
And just like with the leopard blade het that you just showed, the blade kind of wants to put some normal alien head looking things in there underneath the pattern, and that's exactly what happens in the try.
Yep, and then you're getting kind of that extra almost yellowing coming up the bellies on these guys, or this one in particular. I don't know how well it's going to show through because this little one.
Wow, blade could actually have a place to unlock pattern and tri-stripe.
So this is the other try, or the other leopard try. This one I don't believe has the blade. So
That's
this one's
wild.
obviously deep in blue, but I love this pattern. So remember I showed the other try that had that blanked out dorsal? This is another example of that potential scenario. Now, keep in mind that neither of these two animals are not related. So
Mitzi.
other than the fact that they're both TSK line of try, they're not related from our collection. So something to note now, obviously that could absolutely just be the leopard really doing that influence without the blade influence. But I love how it kind of almost created, it's almost like the tribal tattoo type of thing going on, right? you almost got your barbed wire tribal stuff going.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like the black line going down like the spikes.
Yep, because it blanks out the dorsal and then it just creates that wavy effect going down the sides. Okay.
Blade definitely has some places. It's just one of those mutations we need a test for.
Yeah, I know. I admit, like Blade's one of those ones that I'm terrible at figuring out. Everybody else will look at it, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's right there." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
It's been a hitchhiker ever since it came out. It hides so well in the single gene and combos, and then you can get pattern manipulated into Blade to make it busy again, so it actually can hide in busy patterns too.
Yeah.
And now for our weirdo.
So this is a bizarre one. This one popped out of our original male
That we got
and our single het tri-stripe female. So this animal should only technically be a visual tri-stripe head hypo. We've bred plenty with both of these animals and never seen anything pop out like this. So, in fact, actually, I sent over an email over to TSK to say, "What have you guys seen anything weird like this?"
All right.
So,
Well, we got him here with us. So if you didn't read
yeah,
the email yet, we
yeah,
can get
yeah,
the
no,
answer.
that was several years ago that I tormented them. Um, but yeah, so this is a weird one because it came out looking almost pastel-ish or Enchi-ish, but neither of the parents have ever produced anything pastel or Enchi, and pastel or Enchi was not in the known pairings for either. And obviously it's like I said, it is head hypo, but not one of our other animals that are head hypo have ever come out looking pastel-like, right?
And
And
you've
that's
paired that and gotten offspring
Not
from it?
yet.
not yet. So
Not
she's
yet.
she's not quite there yet. So you want to get the little girl again? I
I
know
wasn't sure if
she's
it was a male or female. So right away, what kind of jumps out at me, and I'm not labeling it, I'm just saying similarities,
Yep.
is it kind of looks like the Jungle Llama mixed in
Oh
or
yeah,
Mario. You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? Like it has that look to it, the enhanced colorations,
So and just to show the extreme difference in color, that's the straight tri-stripe versus this girl.
like that
Um,
classic jungle Llama look.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty wild. And you know, every one of our tri-stripe head hypo animals all have come out looking exactly like this. Now, sure, there could be some variability, but this just feels too extreme for that kind of variability to me.
Bless.
Um, it's just funky. So,
Yeah, I mean the blacks coming up from the belly are more uniform,
yep,
and they're really reaching hard for the dorsal.
Yeah.
yep,
Where the other one you had in your hand is way more irregular as far as height, and then the stretches in between more sawtooth.
yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's definitely something going on with the one in your left hand for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you pop out of there. Got
Yeah.
to
So,
keep an eye on it.
and it was funny because originally I had her on the chopping block. I'm like, yeah, that we have so many females.
I'll take her.
Yeah, right. And then after I sat on her waiting to actually list her, I kept looking. I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. like I'm gonna have to prove it out, right? It's one of those things. Like let's see if it's genetic and see what's going on. If
Right.
it's another line of pastel or another line of enchi or whatever the heck it is that just magically pops up, so be it. But it's just kind of fun to mess with, right? That's part of why we do it, right? It's the excitement behind some of that cool stuff that just doesn't seem standard.
Right.
Have back in the day, and Dan and Ryan might be familiar with this, but it usually doesn't happen in mutation combos. But in pairings, you used to get those jungle normals that would pop out, and they would
Yeah.
have really weird looks to them, kind of like a classic jungle, but they would never prove to be genetic.
Nope.
You know,
Let's do the
Yep.
Mojave try.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those over the years.
those jungle normals, yeah. And they kind of have that similar look, like a jungle llama, jaguar kind of look to them with
Yeah.
colors too. But that it's usually not attached to a mutation, so that probably is genetic.
Yeah, I'm curious to find out. I mean, like I said, worst case
What
it's
up, Nick?
another line of something,
What up, Nick?
or worst case it doesn't prove out, and it's just a cool animal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
So
that's
speaking
what's
of
fun.
Kyle Frost,
Uh-oh.
did that one picture load profit with the puzzle tri-stripe? It was a screenshot from his
I love that
Instagram.
animal.
Alright. Give me a second.
This thing is incredible. When I saw it a few weeks back, I was like,
You
that's
said it's a screenshot from Instagram?
yeah, it's like an Instagram screenshot.
Alright.
Worst case, I can always shoot you the link to it on IG if you need.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Of
like
course,
that.
yeah, that.
Alright. So that's
Nice.
going to be. I thought that was on the honorable mentions. So that one wasn't. I didn't even load those up yet.
Since he mentioned Kyle Frost, I figure we'll pull it up.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that's been on the agenda for us too, and I'm way behind on puzzles, so here it is. But
Yeah,
yeah,
incredible interaction.
Alright.
so she's a little feisty, but there's our Mojave try.
1 second.
Ooh.
Mojave looks like it works really nicely.
It does
There it
well.
is.
Yeah,
The
there you go.
puzzle tri-stripe.
Yep. I love what it did with the head stamp and really breaking up that center dorsal.
Yeah, it blocked out like tri-stripe normally does. It blocked out that second half of the laterals where it doesn't have much pattern in the second half of the laterals, but up in the alien heads in the neck, you still get the keyholes and stuff. But that dorsal pattern is just something else. Like imagine that with some like confusion or acid, breaking it up even more.
Yep.
I think that has a long term
Yep.
outlook.
Yeah, these combos that are coming out are amazing. So there's
So the Mojave try.
the Mojave try. It's nice and clean.
You know, it would
It's my go.
really, and my mind kind of went there earlier when you pulled the blackhead stuff out. It was, you get that red flaming with the blackhead Mojave hypo stuff,
Yeah.
and the red gene and the ringer mixed in. It's like blackhead Mojave hypo tri stripe would probably be layers of color.
Let's do that red gene
Brave with
too.
the whiskey bombs. Appreciate
That
you,
thing was
Brave.
beautiful.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're on the right track. Now, the other shout out I'll throw out because of the Mojave is Zach Schrader. Those GHI Mojave Fire Try, those things are absolutely outrageous to me. Those are some of my favorites.
Missy, appreciate the whiskey bombs.
No, sorry,
Did those photos that I recently sent come through,
the
Pop?
boys right below.
You guys tell me you sent them. If I'm doing this, I ain't looking at my phone.
Okay, I sent some recently from
Yeah,
Mandy that wasn't able to join us.
yeah, he's ready to eat your face because everything is food. So these,
Mandy that wasn't able to join us today, she has some actual tri-stripe clown combos and stuff that she sent us over pictures of, so we'll pull those up during the honorable mentions later on.
So these are some of my favorite hats that we did this last year. These ones in particular are going to be Bongo, Yellow Belly, Bongo, Yellow Belly, Red Jean, Double Het, Hypo Tri. So these are the ones that I'm really excited to see. They're both boys, but their colors came out amazing. I think Bongo's going to do some cool things in the tri-stripe, truthfully.
Have you seen the Bongo tri-stripe yet?
No.
No? Okay. I think we have, I think there's one that we have to show off today in
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
photos.
So the colors on these guys are crazy.
Which one was this? Number 1 or 2?
That's number one.
Okay.
So what I love on the animal too is look at that pixelation at the base. I mean, the yellow belly is very, very clear on this animal, but that pixelation is wild. It's just completely blown up. So I'm curious what we're going to see with this color palette in the tri grouping.
Yeah, the Bongo's going to go wild. I was thinking it was Bongo. We have bamboo examples to show in photos.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Bongo's going to be a whole different palette of color.
yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll end it on the fun note, I guess. The two most popular ones of the year.
Yes, go.
How big are they now, about gram-wise?
I would guess these guys are probably in that 250 range. Maybe not. They've been eating like monsters, so.
That's good. They got a little size on them already, for sure.
So there is our Xanthic Tri-Stripe. Looks like he's actually going blue. So there's the Xanthic Tri, and I'm backwards again. So turns out to be VPI. It's the story behind when I went after this. I already had it on the plans on the agenda about 8 years ago to start working towards these.
He's extra
I know,
spicy, so.
I know, he's a butthead. But the funny part is that originally we got, I know, shame me if you want, whatever. We got a fancy ball python from PetSmart that was an Axanthic girl, but she was also one of the nicest and brightest examples of Axanthic that I'd come across. So I just couldn't turn it away. Well, the downside, obviously, as we all know, is there's 900 lines of azanthic. Um, so, so at this point, we didn't have the shed testing and stuff like that to really kind of help out. So my first attempt to prove her out, I tossed in our het TSK male, and was
Oh,
like,
okay.
let's just go for it. And of course, it was opposite ends of the
Go,
tub. They
Julian.
wanted absolutely
Good luck.
nothing to do with each other, and no matter how many times I threw him in there, he just couldn't figure it out, couldn't get the job done, or couldn't
You're
convince
right.
her, whatever the case is. So I was like, you know what, forget it. And I threw the hypo tri male in. Within less than 5 minutes, he was locked up. One lock. The next week, she ovulated and went.
Let's
So
go.
that's where all of our original hets for the Azanthics came from. But that was another one where it was like, hey, guess what? Surprise, she's had hypo. So we ended up with
Nice.
hypo double hets out of that clutch. And of course, only on the male side. Um, but
Oh.
that's okay. The girls were all triples. So these two animals here that I'll grab the other one in a sec here. The both of these animals were produced by a hypo double het to a triple het female.
Good
So
odds.
just something that really, this was the second attempt at them, so absolutely killed the odds considering it's only clutch number two for this grouping. Two different females, but there is
Uh,
the True Ghost tri, the hypo VPI Azanthic tri stripe. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Bow,
it
bow,
actually
bow.
it turned out in our
That's
favor
amazing.
that boy did not lock up with that female because obviously we made the hets we did, and then secondly, it turned into a scenario where we didn't end up with zero azanthic, so that could possibly be double het for things. So double het azanthic. So later down the line, it took about 5 years before I finally was able to get a male in there that would lock with that girl. And 5 years later, we found out it was VPI. So yep. But yeah, so I started with that girl because like I said, you see that nice animal, you want to start with that quality line, uh,
Yeah.
and he's actually in blue right now too, so he's a little faded.
Makes them
But
look better, honestly.
he's a grouch, but at the same time, he just keeps looking better,
Word up.
better,
Word up. Word up. I
better.
agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, ta-da!
Hell yeah.
So that's
Congratulations
the
on that
roundup.
clutch.
So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that and didn't have to hear me ramble for too long.
No, we got some valuable information. Tri-stripe is a mutation that I'm learning about. I have a little history with identifiers and the things that we look for, but that's about it. I didn't keep up on Tri-stripe. Tri-stripe didn't really keep up on the hobby, and I think now we're all catching it up to the standards of where we're at with projects, and we're starting to see a lot of cool stuff being worked into it. Before we get to the picture frenzy, let's have Jim show off some of his amazing tri-stripes. Oh wait, no, before Jim does those tri-stripes, he's gonna get ready while we do this sponsor video real quick,
There it is.
and then we're gonna be back.
ShedTesting.com is your premier destination for fast, affordable, and reliable shed genetic testing. In addition to genetic testing, they have some beautiful ball pythons on their website, ShedTesting.com. Make sure to use code WhiskeyBomb15 to save 15% off of 2 shed tests. Bull pythons may be up-and-coming breeders, but they've already made a significant impact on the industry with their passion, love for pieds, and affinity for the color pink. There's no reptile convention in the US where their merchandise isn't present, and they also produce beautiful ball pythons. Don't take my word for it. Give them a follow on Morph Market and Instagram today. Torchbearers of the Tom Harbin Reptiles legacy. You've seen the monarchs. Now experience the full spectrum of the Herpin Harbins. Beyond the hype, Discover exceptional DG, puzzle, clown, dreamsicle, and other unique combos. Their high-end hognose collection is just as impressive, including Swiss Chocolate, Sunburst, Mai Tai, Storm Cloud, and many more. Meet them at some of the top shows and follow their journey on Morph Market, Instagram, and YouTube. Genetic Genesis are extremely passionate breeders who are investing in quality animals and paving their own path. They work with a number of morphs and combinations, including Wookiee, Hypo, Clown, MJ Xanthic, Scrambler, and the list goes on. You can find them on Morph Market and Instagram, or even your local reptile show.
Hell yeah, shout out to the sponsors. Make sure you guys are following them and check out their Instagrams and Morph Markets for anything available that you might need. So are you ready? Are you ready for us, Jim?
Sure. I just got a few we'll look at. And I know the
Couple
adder
updates.
ones we'll pull out. But we can start with this here.
Ooh.
So we hit this girl last year. Nice DG.
Beautiful.
DG tri-stripe?
Yes, sir.
Very, very nice. That's bright. I thought you were gonna say it was like Bang or something. Because
No,
actually I did
not
see
yet.
a Bang
I just
tri-stripe.
made my hats, so
I forget who I saw had the Bang tri-stripe today, but I'll have to shoot you a picture of it. That thing is incredible. The stripe is just solid.
yeah, it's like
way
immaculate
down.
up the top, and then it kind of loses it in that back third. Going the wrong way.
See, I'm
And
not
does that one have a real clean head stamp from the DG? Oh yeah, it blushed it out a bit. Not as prominent as most Desert Ghost head stamps, but that's because tri-stripe is naturally a darker mutation.
and I think
So
that
what do you?
goes so
Go
well
ahead.
with DG because of that darkness, right? DG just enhances all those deep dark blacks, so that's why I think it goes so well with tri-stripe.
Now, Jim, what do you want to add to that DG tri?
So we made them this year in anticipation of her being to size next season. Let me. There you go. So this is the production.
Ooh, nice.
So leopard OD double het.
Wow.
Oh wow.
The head influence on that is
Yeah,
insane.
that's crazy. Look at that belly. Leopard OD double head. That's nice.
Can we see the other side too? Wow.
That looks. Wow.
The keyholes on that.
Cool.
The keyholes on that look kind of like the dinker I have.
That is crazy.
That's wild. I love the chaining, how it's like it wants to bubble and then it stretches out of nowhere and then goes back to bubbling.
So I'm excited about that boy. I got some, double het girls that he'll see, and then obviously going back to the visual. I'm not excited about sticking the double het to double het, but I had 3 clutches this season and didn't hit any doubles. So it just kind of, the odds are the odds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We got some. We can show them too. Some of the stuff like this that is just, screamers that are growing up.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So
see, that's
pastel
kind of
DG.
got that elongated zigzag.
Yeah, it's a
keyholes
66.
and stuff that one had.
Yeah, it's a 66. But man, I'd if I had to bet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's real strong.
The contrast on
influence
that is
there.
so nice, man. I love that. Ugh.
What's the codoms in that?
Pastel.
That's
It's
awesome.
visual DG.
Yeah, pastel DG
Okay,
All right, all
66
right.
try.
I was about to say. Wow, that actually is a lot busier as far as like the keyholes and stuff than what I would have expected with the DG because DG likes to clean up the keyholes a lot. That's beautiful.
I don't know that we looked at this one too much last time.
That one's just a normal try.
I believe this is an adder
Oh,
red stripe.
Ah, look at the side. Yeah,
the
that's
red
adder,
So
stripe
bro.
is
that's
making
the
it
That's
granity.
adder.
trying to get that head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the adder eye stripes.
Yep.
Yep.
That side, the side is saying adder, adder.
The colors and everything. Yeah, yeah. The red stripe is definitely making it more rustic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it was a red stripe hat to an adder hat.
Damn, you got good odds, Jim. I'll cut my eggs at your house.
So, yeah, I like it. It's not as continual in the stripe.
And I think that's from the red stripe. Because
Yeah, and
red
that's what
stripe
I'm not sure
granity,
of.
it makes things more granity.
Yeah, and it's hard to, hard to find pictures and info on any of this stuff because a lot of it is, if it's been made, it may have been made once,
Yeah.
and you may not be able to find too many photos online.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a great look at that eye stripe. That's adder all
Yeah.
day long.
Yep.
Yeah, how it drops real heavy down like an axe almost.
Ooh, ooh. Boy.
That isn't even the banger. That isn't even the best thing he's hiding. Isn't that crazy?
Balls.
That's another one. That's the banana adder, right?
Yeah, and again, banana hat.
Oh yeah.
To an adder hat.
And then can we see the eye stripes again? Because they're doing the same exact thing with that big
That
drop down.
they're similar. It's not as pronounced. I think the banana is just mucking with it, but you can see the drop and the pinch
The
at the
big
bottom.
thing I notice is the black eye stripe behind the eye drops down significant, and that's what chops it off and gives it that kind of axed look.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
So nice little female.
When you get red stripe into that, it's gonna pop with color
Oh,
because banana red stripe is
I
amazing.
can't wait. I can't wait. I have one that I held. When you start making some of this, you hit stuff and then you're not sure, right? So this animal I have and it's probably completely wrong. So I haven't gone back to relabel it, but there's Fire, Enchi, Mackenzie in the mix.
Oh wow!
Hmm.
Wow.
Fire Mackenzie, and she's a tough one. I feel like it's Fire Mackenzie, but who knows? That thing is wild looking. You're definitely getting the fire.
Yeah.
Something's darkening it up, though. I think that's the Mackenzie darkening it back up.
Yeah. Again, I also haven't seen enough Enchis to just be Enchi.
With the fire in the inch, you would expect it to be brighter.
I mean, for a tri-stripe, it's pretty bright. I mean, so I don't know, like, you know what I
It's
mean?
just the contrast
Yeah.
between the dark bars.
So he'll sit on the shelf, and when he's ready to breed, we'll start breeding him. But
That's crazy looking, Jim.
And then like Corey was mentioning like the KMR stuff, which back in the day I bought some combo extreme animals from Ken Masick, and so my tri-stripe stuff initially came from Rich Macias, and I think it's TSK line, but I'm not entirely sure. Although Noco is out there, so it could not be TSK. And so I paired that to his stuff, to the extreme stuff, because it had like the stretched eyes and
Yeah.
stuff, and I didn't hit anything, and I was like, oh, and then kind of forgot about it. Well, since then, that's kind of evolved to be its own line, the KMR
Yeah.
line.
They're
And I've
not
been
compatible.
talking with Ken recently, and apparently the extreme stuff that I have is not extreme; it's extremist. And he thinks it is het. The original animal is het tri-stripe. So I'm going to show you an animal that talking with Ken that we believe is a double het, probably TSK, KMR, Mackenzie, yellow belt.
Wow. Speaking of Ken Masick, on the 21st of this month, he will be joining the Genetic Canvas. So make sure you guys put that on your calendar. Might see if you want to come on and join and talk about that story again, too.
Oh, look at that.
That thing is cool. Wow. So break it down again while you have it in your hands.
So Mackenzie, and he's in shed. Mackenzie, yellow belly, and what I now know as an extremist.
Yeah.
And what we're speculating, so he's got locks with the founder animal to prove for het KMR, and I know he's 100% het, probably TSK.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, that's definitely that classic extremist look with the rolling hills and the striped dorsal. Almost like that classic Harlequin look that a lot of those animals didn't prove out of Africa when the original tri-stripe came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extremist is one of the most Harlequin wild type looking things that proved out.
Yeah. So this was a twin. So there's two boys and they were identicals. So I've got two of these guys that I've just been sitting on because they were cool and I haven't done anything with them. But now we're going to go back and see if we can prove the KMR stuff. Because we swung and missed with the
So you'll end up with both lines then.
So here's another one. Enchi, extremist, fire, and will probably be double het. So in these clutches, it was kind of a random shot at seeing stuff like this. And what we think the difference is like these are going to be the double hets as opposed to just 100% het for TSK.
Gotcha.
And this whole camera's throwing me off because it's backwards on top on top of just being, trying to focal on a camera. Never mind being like reversed here. So
that's cool, Jim. I didn't know that you had accidentally slipped into that extremist project because you're already producing some wild stuff.
Honestly, I didn't either. And then I've been talking to Ken about the rhino stuff, which y'all 13 months finally touched down today. So the rhino gene is in house.
Nice.
But we're talking to him a little bit about that and then, just tri-stripe and, some of the animals of his that I had and just looking at it, he goes, yeah, dude, that's not extreme. It's all extremist. So I got my stuff in 2017 and that was right about the time where he started to like unfold the extreme gene extremist with the tri-stripe and, and it all came in on one animal. So talk about like a head scratcher.
Yeah, and he had been working on it for 12 years prior to 2017. Like he was breeding it through his collection and just getting a bunch of random hits and misses and growing more confused by the year. Yeah, 2017 was when I was visiting him,
So,
and yeah, he was figuring it out.
so this will be an example of that. I know this is also het tri-stripe stuff and a little wonky, but like clutch mates to show you kind of what clutch mates. So this animal, I think, I have it as a fire yellow belly extremist, and this is
Mm-hmm.
probably this is 100% het for TSK.
Damn.
And then I'll show you this what I think is the same animal that's double het. She's in shed.
All right, this is the last one. Look at that thing. That thing is
That's
beautiful.
wild.
You're gonna come back on with Ken in 2 weeks. Put it on your calendar.
Yeah, we can do it.
We'll definitely make a good episode about this because you might be the furthest. I mean, from those animals until this year, because obviously you got Justin and Brittany Gobble working the extremist more now. But you might be the furthest ahead in these directions.
Well, what's rough is like a lot of this stuff in the past few years has been sold relatively inexpensively as extreme gene stuff when it's been extremist, and it's just
Uh-huh.
my ignorance. You know what I mean? Not really knowing what I had, and I just thought it was a weird reaction with like because I have a yellow belly in a lot of it, just a weird reaction going on with yellow belly and extreme with the tri-stripe in the background. So
Yeah, and that's not a cheap
surprise.
project to get into. So those are some lucky buyers that got into it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we bought two girls. I bought an OD Extreme and Butter Extreme, and yeah, well, they're not extreme. They're extremist, and at least the OD, which I still have here, is het tri, based on Ken's eyeball. And now I see what he's looking at, and I agree with that. So we just took that wacky male, which we think is the double het, and put him back. So we'll see if we get some tri stripes out of it. If we do with him, then that'll confirm he's a double het, and we'll have KMR tri-stripe on the ground as well.
Yeah, and then you'll all be POS Het TSK too.
Yeah, yeah.
So that'll be awesome to prove out and then also move forward with if it comes
all by
through.
accident.
So
or by
let's
failure,
go
I
ahead
should
and
say.
roll on into the honorable mentions. I'm gonna let Jim, Corey, and Aaron grab animals, top project animals from anything outside of Tri-Stripe that you might want to showcase here at the end of the episode. But while you guys are doing that, we're just gonna pull up some photos that Mark Petros was texting me earlier today to showcase him as an honorable mention. He did try to join us for the episode, but technical difficulties, and that is killer. So that one there is black pastel banana tri-stripe.
Wow.
And that coloration is all the black pastel banana. So that one there is pastel banana tri-stripe. Super pretty animal. You can see almost the full striping going down it.
Yeah.
And the banana just kind of fades out the dorsal blowouts here and there. I love the blushing of the pastel and bananas. This one here is just a black pastel tri-stripe, but you get a lot of variation with the black pastel and tri-stripes with the dorsal pattern. Another codom that I was told always gives you a variability of striping in the dorsal. It usually doesn't leave many dots. This one here is just a classic pastel tri-stripe, but one of the best examples.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really nice one.
She looks like
Definitely an incredible example of that full striping down the sides.
Got a couple group photos.
Now this clutch photo is the banana tri-stripe, pastel banana tri-stripe clutch. You got the two normals with the variations, one being more empty dorsal, the other one having a little striping. and then that banger in the middle. And Mark had just started producing visuals, I think he said 1 year ago, 2 years ago. So these are all new productions for him too. This was a pewter tri-stripe clutch. So you got a normal tri-stripe, two pastel tri-stripes, and then the pastel black pastel. I think it's a black pewter tri-stripe. So pastel black pastel tri-stripe. It could be the cinnamon version, don't quote me. This one is the cinnamon version for sure. That's the cinnamon pewter, cinnamon pastel tri-stripe in the middle. On the far right, you have an ultramel tri-stripe, or no, that's the banana tri-stripe. That's older. The ultramel tri-stripes are in the other photos. Yeah. So that's the banana tri-stripe as it ages there. So you can kind of see the contrast that it holds and the lack of speckling that comes in. And then on the left side there is the pastel tri-stripe banana. A little bit of difference in the color palette, a little blonder. Definitely an amazing group. Look at that one. So the one in the top middle, the pastel with the really bold dorsal stripe going all the way down it. I can't tell you why it has that dorsal stripe, but I'm going to have to reach out to Mark and ask him if he has any inclinations, because it's the only one, like the ones y'all were showing, that has that real thick dorsal stripe.
Yep.
It makes it like a 7-stripe snake.
Yeah, there's been several other breeders within the tri-stripe groups, Facebook, all that fun stuff, right? But where they have several animals that actually come out that way too. So
Okay.
I
So
am
that's
curious
like
to
an
see
intermittent thing.
Yeah.
Happens somewhat.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to pull up the Ultramel tri-stripes, I think those were the last photos from the honorable mentions that I sent earlier.
The ones you showed out earlier, these ones.
Oh wait, no, yeah. Did you get the new photos from Mandy uploaded
Yeah,
that I texted you?
yeah, yeah.
All right. However you want to pull them up,
I was gonna order that you told me to do.
and I will look at the message and tell you the genetics. 1 second. So this one here is the Barnhart Black Pastel Bamboo Tri-Stripe. So the bamboo really kind of lifted everything up to like that puzzle range, and then the bamboo or the black pastel chained it out real well, gave it kind of a contrast, but really bubbled it out. What are you guys thinking about that combo?
Pretty wild.
Bamboo is one of those mutations that tends to tear pattern up more and take away from the contrast. But I think like adding yellow belly into that would work really well. There is another one here that's a bamboo yellow belly tri-stripe pet clown that works really well, showing that bamboo can work good in the tri-stripe. So I think that that's pretty interesting. Bamboo is a very dominant mutation, overpowers a lot of things, especially with pattern. Gives a calico look to a lot of combinations. I feel like that could benefit from having that leopard at play.
Yeah.
So definitely a cool animal there. What's the next one that we got?
Tell me, I can do the visual one.
Oh yeah, that's the clown. So that one's the female butter yellow belly tri-stripe clown.
Wow.
And I know a lot of us haven't seen too many tri-stripe clowns, but I think that that is different than what I would have expected. Obviously, you get that dominant butter clown look to it with the chaining and the alien heads kind of stretching down to the belly, but the tri-stripe really chopped it up, I guess you could say. And then that one is just a yellow belly tri-stripe clown. The one thing that I always noticed about the tri-stripe clown is that the keyholes end up looking like portholes on a submarine.
Mhm.
Or like windows on a bus.
That's nice.
And that's the pastel version. So pastel tri-stripe clown. Or pastel yellow belly tri-stripe clown. It does have yellow belly in there. So I feel like it's one of those, with the clown, it's one of those combinations that it may lack in a lot of people's eyes as far as, you know, typical differences from other combinations. And it'll be interesting to see exactly what it works well with outside of the clown and other pattern mutations like the Mackenzie. I really think that the Mackenzie, the Super Mackenzie, a lot of people contrast that to zebra. So, you know, getting some zebra into tri-stripe, especially with that adder stuff that already likes to kind of separate those vertical blushings between the alien heads and kind of uniform them back in there. Some of these combos can really push the tri-stripe to a pattern manipulation that we probably can't even imagine. Was there anything that jumped out for you this episode, Ryan?
People have done a lot of stuff. I haven't kept up on a lot of it, but you guys have made some incredible strides.
What was your favorite animal from the episode, if you had to pick one?
I like the dark stuff, so probably the leopard stuff. The
Yeah, that
leopard
stuff was
stuff.
wicked. So, how about you, Dan? What's your reflection on the work that's been done with the tri-stripe and your favorites?
I had no idea people were doing that much with it.
This is just a taste, too. I mean, there's a
That's
lot more out there.
amazing.
Plenty
It's
of people that were like, you know, if it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks out, I would join. But
right.
schedules.
That's just amazing to see that much being done with it. You know, when you were talking, Corey and Aaron were bringing different stuff up. I was thinking back to when we started with this, and most people probably wouldn't remember this going on, but when we bred that original male to a female, it was a big female, and then those hets just went up on the shelf, and those hets that went up on the shelf today, you look back and you say they had markers, but what we were saying is the original female you would have called a het tri-stripe because it had, I'm just going to call it those little lines in the aliens. You guys have come up with all these new words for this stuff that I don't know what
I can't
it
keep up.
had little lines like like part of the tri-stripe line
Right.
on those original hets. But we believe that came from the female because the female that was a big normal had that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had that on those original ones, and even though I think there was six original hets.
Hey, Terry, do you have that picture of the het on eggs that I had sent you earlier?
Yeah, I got
So, Mark Petros, he sent me a picture of a het female on eggs. So that's the cinnamon. Do we have the normal one? Yeah, that one. You can kind of maybe see some
Yeah.
of similarities because that's an original, one of the originals.
Yeah, so we think a lot of that came from that original female that was bred to the tri-stripe and carried on through. Now it's in, who knows, it's in everything now.
Well, Dan, do you remember back in the day? I used to sell baby balls at pet stores back in the 90s, and I believe the babies were coming from Togo or Benin and not Ghana, and all the babies were really dark and had a lot of that connected alien pattern. And it wasn't until we started getting the Ghana babies that were those gold babies without the alien eyes
Yeah.
Every ball python of my youth had big alien eyes,
That's right.
and and they didn't change until those gold Ghana babies started coming in.
The Ghana ones came in, and the other ones were bigger. The Togo balls were
Yeah,
much bigger
yeah, they
animals.
were dark. They
Just
were
like the
way darker.
sub-Saharans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember seeing my first gold, like a bright gold baby, and I was like, "Wow, this is way different than what I'm used to seeing."
yeah, they were. And the other thing, I don't know, not to change
No,
what's
you're good.
now, but the HRAs, because uh, Corey and Aaron brought up the thing, and it looked like it had a wider striping down the back and stuff. So, a funny fact: if you go back to the probably '90s, the HRA was originally, like I said, I don't want to cause problems here. Was
Stir the pot.
originally a blackback.
Ah,
Yeah.
We called it a blackback when it was our,
Genetic blackback. Yeah.
yeah, it was genetic black. Well, yeah, it's more like blackback, and then Corey Woods bought it, renamed it, so now it's a het ready xanthic, I guess. But we used it as a blackback in all of our breedings. So when you see your HRAs showing stuff like that, that's going back to what we used it for.
Oh
so
wow.
Interesting.
So yeah, because it was a really wide blackback. I'd
Yeah.
have to go through. I'd have to
Yeah.
go
HRA's
find.
always had that, a dorsal pattern behind the neck, behind the head or two, and then a little bit by the tail. And it wasn't until you got mixing other phenotypes and polygenics in that they kind of took more of that normal dorsal pattern here and there nowadays.
Yeah, well, I mean, it bred as blackbacks. I mean, you get half
Yeah.
blackbacks, half normal looking stuff out of it. It was an interesting animal.
And then overseas now they still have the lace blackback, which is in the complex.
I have a
So
lace blackback HRA.
yeah,
Wow.
it's supposed to be the same mutation as lace blackback and HRA, but I think that they kept with the lace blackback from the original name.
I mean, lace black adder. My bad.
Oh
So
yeah, you got the adder version. I was like, that's a super if you have lace blackback HRA.
No, it's amazing what everyone's done with them. They're just coming so far. It's just absolutely amazing. It's super cool to see.
Did you show off the tri-stripe? No, you don't have a puzzle tri-stripe. That was the Cal Frost one. Yeah, the banana tri-stripe adder. That thing was crazy. That's one of my favorite directions so far is the tri-stripe adder, and then that leopard blade stuff really actually
Yeah.
surprised me. I think that blade actually has its place in the tri-stripe project after seeing that. Spicy Mike says Lori. Lori is another one in the complex.
Yeah.
HRA Lori, they kind of intertwine.
yeah, I got HRA and
So
blackback.
we got a couple of hypo visual red axanthic, 66% het tri animals, one with or couple with pastel or pinstripe, and then some without pinstripe. I like the way the ones with the pinstripe came out, only for the fact that I make the joke those are our faux monsoons, because their pattern just explodes with the red axanthic, and honestly, hypo and red axanthic I think are two that were kind of made for each other overall. They look so nice together. They brighten up. They age well. Um, it's just fun. And like I said, of course, 66% at tri-stripe. So come on, Charlie. Come on, Ben.
send in more visual sheds and he'll get on it.
Oh, Corey sent them
Yeah.
both like 65 sheds
There you
apiece.
go.
So I think they're set.
Over the course of time, yeah. They've
Well,
probably got somewhere
I'm
from.
gonna finish this episode off with saying the animal that kind of surprised me the most, and that was the DG tri-stripe. I think that combination works amazing together. We're gonna roundhouse one time and see what mutation might have surprised you. Let's start with Dan. Which one was a surprising mutation?
I think all of them are surprising, but the puzzle looked really cool.
The puzzle, okay. Yeah, that thing is wild. And Ryan, which one was surprising to you?
The regular pastel tri-stripe probably surprised me the most.
That thing was nice, right? Pastel, make pastel great again, right? So, Jim, anything that surprised you here tonight?
I'd have to go with the pin, the
A
pin
pin,
try,
yeah.
because everything else I see with pin is so strong, and it doesn't necessarily play very well with a lot of things. Like it overpowers a lot of things. I kind of like what it did in tri stripe. I was kind of
I
not what I
agree.
was expecting to see. So
Same here, yeah. And if it didn't have spot nose, then that's even crazier.
yeah.
Like, say it doesn't prove to be spot nose, then that's really nice. If it does have spot nose, it makes a little bit more sense. But man, that pinstripe definitely surprised me. Profit, which one was surprising for you?
I wasn't surprised.
He said they're all nice.
They're all nice. They're all nice. I wasn't taking notes.
Corey and Aaron, you guys both get one each, unless they're the same.
Well, no, I mean Tri-Stripe's not my project, it's his, but honestly the one I like is the weird one. The one that we don't know what she is.
Yeah,
That's what stood out.
I'm curious to see what if we could figure it out, what we can do with her, and
It's an adventure.
yeah, it's an adventure.
Yes.
Yep.
yeah, that one's gonna be really cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see what pops out of that female for sure. So with
Tell you,
that,
I bet you can guess which one was Corey's.
This guy is super needy tonight. He is not leaving me alone.
well, with that, we thank you
Oh,
all
it's
for
not?
joining us for tonight's episode. We thank everybody in the chats live with us this week and anybody watching that replay. Make sure you guys don't forget to hit that like button, drop the whiskey bombs, and comment #ReplayGang. Use all the great codes from our sponsors and our affiliates so that you get all the great savings and discounts on amazing animals. And yeah, never miss a show. Subscribe to the network. There's a different show every single week. I think we're at more non-reptile
Every day of the
shows
week.
than
Every
we
day.
are reptile shows now.
There's a show
So
every day of the week.
definitely check it in every day of the week. Multiple shows on some days, and check out all of our great friends at these other networks: Mutation Creation, Herp Collectors Network, Morph Forge, Irresistible Pythons, Royal Caribbean Exotics, Wisco, and Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. Make sure you guys are checking out everybody that's out here putting in work, trying to grow our hobby and support each other. And we'll catch you all next week, and tune in tomorrow for Balls and Things. Who we got on?
Boa DNA.
Boa DNA. That's going to be a good one. So we'll see you guys there.
You have a good night.
All right, see ya.
Take care.